Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss about our environment, how environment work and how environment help us, what are the ecosystem, how the ecosystem work, everything we are going to discuss about our environment today. Okay, let us discuss this class. Okay, let's begin this class. Our environment, it's begin from the earth. Earth consists of a lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere. The combination of the lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere is known as the biosphere. Biosphere is known as one, again we say that the biosphere is also known as the ecosystem. The ecosystem consists of the food chain, food web, biomagnification, ecological pyramids. These all are the components come in our environmental topic. Today we are going to discuss about all these topics one by one. Okay, let us see the earth. Earth means a unique planet. Why we called as a unique planet? Why? Because in the 8 planets, earth is only the planet which supports the life. It means in our solar system there are the 8 planets. In the 8 planets, earth is only the planet which supports the life. It means where the life propagates, where the life exists. So we call that a planet in the solar system, since it is the only planet that support the life. The another property of the earth is known as, or the another property of the earth is, it consists of 71% of earth surface is covered by water. It means 71% of the earth surface is covered by the water. This water covered area is known as a hydrosphere. Hydro means water. So the water covered area is known as a hydrosphere. The another unique feature of the earth is its atmosphere. Atmosphere means it is a huge blanket of gases, water, water vapors, fine dust, etc. around it is known as a atmosphere. In the atmosphere, 78% of nitrogen is present, 21% of oxygen is present, and carbon dioxide, argon, neon, methane, these all gases are present in the atmosphere. The abundant gas in the atmosphere is known as the nitrogen, and 21% of the oxygen is present in the atmosphere. And the surface area or the surface crust of the earth is known as a lithosphere. Litho means land. Litho means land here. Sphere means area. It includes, means the land includes the mountains, ocean floors. It means the beaches we can say, the edge we can say, the island or the island presents in the oceans we can include that also, and the plain land includes in the lithosphere. It means the upper crust or the upper layer of the earth where the life propagates is known as the lithosphere. Okay. If we move the biosphere is the area of the earth where life exists. It means it may be the aquatic area, it may be the lithosphere, it may be the land where the life is present, that is known as biosphere. Hydrosphere, atmosphere and lithosphere all together make a biosphere. It means we see the life in the hydrosphere, it means in the aquatic area, in the oceans we see the life, in atmosphere we see the life, in the land, on the land or the lithosphere we see the life. The combination of the hydrosphere, atmosphere and the lithosphere is known as biosphere. Or we can say the another word, another scientific word we see here, the ecology. It means the systematic study which enable us to understand the totally and the pattern of the relationship between the organism and their environment is called as ecology. It means here we are going to study about the relationship between the environment and the organism, or the pattern between the environment and the organism is known as ecology. It means the study of a relationship between the environment and organism is known as ecology. Okay, let us see the level of organization. Here, first point, if we see that is the species. Species means a variety of organism found on the earth planet, single celled, maybe multicellular organism. An organism represent an individual member of the next level is called species. Species means a particular organism, we can say. Particular means the human being is the particular organism, we can say this is the human being species or the living human being species. If we take the what we call that cats, that are the particular species. If we take the dog, these are those particular species. If we take the rat, these are the particular species. If we take some other animals of their own kind, they are known as the species. It means the particular organism or the individual organism which represents their own kind of organism, they are known as the species here. For example, you can take the dog also a species, cats also a species, human being also a species. These all are the species. Next point is the population. A group of individual belonging to the same species occupying a selected area or a given area is known as a population. Means you can take the example as a human beings, we are the species occupied, or we are occupied a particular area for our life propagation, so we are known as the human being population. Okay, the same thing if we take the organism present in the wild area, wild buffaloes, these are the species which occupied the specific area in the wild region, they are known as the wild buffalo population. If we see the camels present in the desert, camel are of the same species. All camels are come in the same species. They occupy a particular area in the desert, so we called them as the population of camels. It means a particular species occupies the area or the given area, they are known as the population. And third point is the ecosystem. Ecosystem means the interaction between the living and non-living thing is known as ecosystem. In this earth or on the earth, there is no only the living beings, there are also the non-living things present on this earth. The relationship between the living thing and non-living thing is known as ecosystem. Means we use the non-living thing for our day-to-day use. There is a relationship between the living thing and the non-living thing. The relationship or the interaction between the living thing and the non-living thing is known as a ecosystem. And the different kind of ecosystems present on the earth, they are known as a biosphere. Means different ecosystem. Aquatic ecosystem is the different, terrestrial ecosystem is the different, aerial ecosystem is the different. These different ecosystems are known as the biosphere. If you see the here picture on your right hand side of the screen, you see the organism. And the organism is represented by the particular species. and the species where they get a particular area for their living, for their life propagation, that is known as a population. Population, again if we see there, the population means the abiotic and biotic component we see in the population. Again the biotic and abiotic components known as the ecosystem, and different ecosystems known as the biosphere. This is the flow chart which will give you the complete and the clear idea about the organization. Okay. Next, the ecosystem. Ecosystem consists of two components. One is the biotic component and the abiotic component. Abiotic component means non-living things. You can see the example here: air, water, wind, soil, temperature and rainfall. These all are abiotic. Why? Because they don't have life. You take the soil, you take the stone, you take the air, you take the water, they doesn't have the life, so they are known as the abiotic component. If we come to the biotic component, in the biotic component we see the three subcategories. One is the producer, that are known as the green plant. Second one is the consumer, which consume the green plants. And the third point, the decomposers, with they decompose the dead green plants, and even the consumer also decomposed by the decomposers. Okay. And in the consumers, we see the again three subcategories. One is the primary consumer, another one is the secondary consumer, and the third one is the tertiary consumer. Primary consumer means we can take as the plant eating animals. Secondary consumer means we see the both the what we call the plant eating consumers and as well as the primary consumers. And third one is the tertiary consumer. The tertiary consumer depend upon the primary and the secondary consumer also. This is known as the ecosystem. Carefully see this flow chart, you will get the clear idea about this ecosystem. Okay. If we move further, just we saw that abiotic components. Abiotic component means non-living components like air, water, stone, etc. They are called abiotic. Why? Because they don't have the life. Biotic component means living components like animals, plants, insects, etc. Even we also the biotic component which have the life, they are known as biotic component. And next point we saw that is the producers. Producers are nothing but green plants on the earth ecosystem, and algae in the aquatic ecosystem are known as producers. Why? Because they produce the food. On the land, green plant produce the food for various organisms. So the green plants are known as the producer here. This producer word, remember, which resemble or the represent the green plant. Okay. Algae produce the food in aquatic region. It means in the underwater ecosystem. The algae also known as a producer. Next one is the secondary consumer. They are the organism or the animals which obtained their food by eating producer or by eating green plants is called secondary consumer. Okay, you can take the goat, you can take the buffalo, you can take the cow, you can take the rabbit, you can take the deer. These all are known as a secondary consumer. Why? Because they depend upon the producer, means green plant. On the green plant they depend. And third one is the tertiary consumer. Animals obtained their food by feeding secondary consumer. You can take the lion, tiger, human beings. These all are the tertiary consumer. Why? Because they depend upon the secondary consumer like the deer, cow, buffalo, goats, hens, etc. Okay, these are known as the tertiary consumer. which they depend upon the secondary consumer. Okay, if we move, we see the food chain, type of food chains. There are the two type of food chains we mainly see here. One is the grazing food chain, another one is the detritus or the saprophytic food chain. These are the main two food chains. If we see the grazing food chain, it includes again two type of food chains. One is the predatory food chain, another one is the parasitic food chain. Let us see here what is the grazing food chain and the saprophytic food chain. First one is the grazing food chain, that is the plant eating animals are called grazing food chain. It means the animals which consume the grass or the green plants, they are known as, come under grazing food chain. You can take the rabbit, come under the grazing food chain, buffalo come under the grazing food chain, and the ox you can take grazing food chain, deer in the forest you can take, that come in the grazing food chain. These all are come in the grazing food chain. Why? Because they depend upon the green plants for their food. Second one is the detritivorous food chain or the saprophytic food chain. It means the secondary food chain, the primary consumer is a detritivore, ants, termites, earthworms are called detritivorous. These are feed on the dead, decayed trees and fallen leaves. Why? Because these are the saprophytes, depends upon the dead plants and the fallen dried leaves. These are known as the secondary food chain, which help us to decompose the dead trees and fallen leaves. They depend upon these dead trees and the leaves, so they are known as the secondary food chain. Third one is the parasitic food chain or the tertiary food chain. These are the depend on the grazing or the detritus food chain. This is the depend upon both grazing as well as a saprophytic food chain. This one is the third one. Why? Because it depends upon both grazing as well as the detritivorous, we can another word saprophytic food chain. Next, if we see how the ecosystem work here we see in this flow chart, we get energy from the sun, or we get the heat and light from the sun. Here the producers means green plants. Producer means green plants use sunlight and the heat to produce the food or to grow themselves. In this process they liberate heat also, and the producer is eaten by consumer, or the green plant eaten by the goat, deer, buffalo, cow, etc. And even though the consumer also liberate the heat into the atmosphere, and the consumer when they die means the goat, the buffalo, the lion, the tiger, whatever you can take, that when they die they decomposed by the decomposers present in the earth soil. You can take the microorganism. The decomposer also decompose the dead animals and the trees. At that time, even though they also liberate the heat, and the dead body converted into the inorganic nutrient pool. If we see the dead dog present in your area, after few days we can't find on that place. Why? Because the organism decomposed them and mixed with the soil, and these what the organism decomposed by the decomposer, the producer use all the inorganic nutrient by them. This is a whole our environment or our ecosystems propagate in this cycle. Clearly take the idea by this flow chart. If we see the pyramid here, upright pyramid we see here, a pyramid construct on the basis on the number of individual occupying the tropical level. If we see the organism occupying the tropical level, we can say here, or the energy level we can say here, and the time in the ecosystem is called a pyramid on a number. If we see the upright the pyramid, here the T1 is known as the producer, that are the green plants. T2 is known as the primary consumer, where we see the rabbits, goats, deers. These are come in the primary consumer. In the secondary consumer, we see the fox, that all the things. And in the tertiary consumer, we see the lion, tiger, etc. This is the upright pyramid we can say. Here we see every tropical level, they occupies by the particular organism. The particular area or the particular tropical level is occupied by the particular organism or the animals here. And this is the inverted pyramid of a number we can say. A pyramid constructed based on the biomass, wet and dry, and the weight of all the matter in the organism in each tropical level. It is depend upon the biomass. So it is known as the pyramid of the biomass. And most of the food chain, that pyramid of biomass will be upright. Maximally they are in the upright condition. In aquatic, in some aquatic food chain, it may be the inverted. It may be the inverted. Why? Because it begins from the lower region. First example we can say, that is the tertiary consumer. The small algae, small present in the aquatic region. These algae are consumed by the microorganism, the small insect present there, that are known as the secondary consumer, and the insect are consumed by the birds. These are the primary consumers, and last one is the producer. Last one is the producer, that is known as the trees here. This is the invert pyramid of a number on the basis of a pyramid of a biomass. Next one is the biomagnification. Biomagnification means an increase in the concentration of a toxic substances such as DDT, mercury, cadmium, etc. with every link in the food chain. Food chain is known as a biological magnification or a biomagnification. We see that every food item nowadays are contaminated. Why? Because we are the human beings, we throw the lot of the toxic material into the atmosphere or to the environment. While there is a rainy season, all the toxic materials are dissolved in the water. Again, these water are collected in the river. These all water, contaminated water collected in the wells. These all contaminated water collected in the bore wells. Again, we use contaminated water in the form of agriculture. Then the toxic material come in the what we call in the agriculture yield. We see the rivers joins to the oceans. There are the lot of aquatic animals. These DDT, cadmium, mercury, which we throw to the environment, they reaches to the lakes, rivers. There are the lot of the aquatic animals present in the rivers, like the fish, crabs, which we consume as a food. So everything is contaminated. That is known as the biological magnification or the biomagnification. What is the effect of this biomagnification? It disturbs the balance in the food chain. It disturbs the balance in the food chain. Particularly, it affects the organism at a higher tropical level. It means in the lion, tiger, whatever the present in the higher tropical level, they affect them. Why? Because if we see the 5% of contaminated thing in the producer, when it consumes the primary consumer, the toxic level is increased in every tropical level slowly, one by one. When lastly the upper tropical level organism going to consume these below level consumers, then the heat effect by the toxic substances like the DDT, mercury, cadmium. So we say there is an imbalance present. They disturb the balance in the environment and as well as in the ecosystem. If the toxic level increases in every tropical level, the organism present in that tropical level start to die one by one. Because of this imbalance we see in the environment, not only in the ecosystem. If there is an imbalance in the ecosystem, then it is imbalance in the environment. I hope you people are enjoyed this class and you got a lot of the knowledge. And so please, I request everyone, please subscribe, please comment, please give the feedback to me, and please share these classes and the videos with your colleagues or the classmates, and ask them to subscribe this Genius Science Academy. Thank you for watching. Please share and subscribe everyone. Thank you.